Hey everyone, this is your instructor AJ for MBA 705, the Capstone. Just wanted to jump in this week and just kind of add some insight into actually completing Milestone 4, where you're looking at financial analysis and funding. And I really want to talk a little bit about writing to the rubric, some of the things you need to consider when trying to obtain funding. Like, say, for example, if you are an entrepreneur, you might be looking to fund your project via VC, venture capitalist, or a VC firm, or you might do crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. In this particular case, I wouldn't even touch that, purely based on the fact that you're on a timetable in terms of completing this project, completing your or bringing to market your new product or service. And then also, as it relates to senior management, some of the things that you need to consider if you're an entrepreneur, making sure that not only is your idea supported, but your idea is funded. Okay, with that said, let's take a little bit, take a moment and look at what the assignment is all about. It says, using your learning from MBA 520 and 640, analyze the project costs, revenue streams. That's very important. And the net present value. For those who do not understand what the net present value is, please go back. I know sometimes you have to remind yourself, okay, how do you get an NPV? You got to actually address this. And then, most importantly, you have to know, okay, at what point do we break even? Like, what should the revenue look like in terms of cash flow? Till we come to a point to, okay, so now we've broken even on this project, and we can start getting into, after your costs, start getting into to profit. So also it says, be sure to include a budget, an assessment of assets and liabilities, your anticipated sources of funding. That's primarily what I was talking about earlier, and associated costs of attaining the capital as a part of the analysis. In other words, how are you going to get this money? Okay, how are you going to get either senior management or some VC to fund your project? Or are you going to bootstrap? You're going to fund it yourself? Then also, let's look at the last line. It says you should include, among support, sales forecasts, cash flow statements, income projections, and any other relevant calculations or financial reports. Now, fortunately, MBA 520 and 640, they were fantastic courses in terms of producing these type of statements and kind of getting into the calculations you need to basically show what your net profit is going to be. Anyway, let's kind of look at the rubric here. So it says here, in here you must, first and foremost, please address these critical elements in this milestone, and then also go line by line and use headings in your paper, and then address these sections. So if you write, if you show projections, if you show calculations, I definitely would like to see or have a write-up. And it doesn't simply mean just giving some type of pro forma. It also means, tell me a little bit about what these numbers mean. Okay, so like I said, go line or domain by domain. Okay, financial analysis parts, financial reports, and definitely articulate that means you're saying all of this, and this is how you're gonna make this project. How would you say it? Make it worthwhile. Make it a project where you're definitely going to be looking at some profits, and it's actually going to play into the mission of the organization, and that is to be profitable. If that's one of your missions, which it should be, I need to see some justification in terms of why are you taking this position? What are these numbers based on? Okay, what are these numbers based on? Is there any other company, such as some competition, that hey, they did this, and you can look at 10Ks, which are overall financials, and you should Google what a 10K is if you don't know. That's 10, 1, 0, and K. 10K plus whatever the company that's like your competition is. And if they're publicly traded, you should be able to get some information from that to kind of give you an idea of what numbers you should be looking at. Then also, let's look at funding. So just simply Googling entrepreneur funding source, you'll see all these different things come up in terms of how to find money. What I would like to do is, if I was doing this project, I would look at reputable sources such as Forbes. It says top 10 sources of funding for startups. I would look at something like this. Always look at resources that you can justify your actions or your numbers based on these sources being reputable. I'm not looking for Investopedia. I'm not looking for Wikipedia. I need something solid. So also, like say if you're an entrepreneur, I just simply Google getting funding, senior management for projects plus Entrepreneur Magazine, and look what came up. How to persuade your boss to fund your business ideas. Just all of these different sources that you can go to actually help you with this milestone. So this is just a quick overview of some things that you should consider, some things that you should look at in terms of when you're putting together this milestone as it relates to projecting costs, revenue streams, NPV, sales forecast, cash flow statements, income projections, and any relevant calculations that you need to include. And just don't include again, numbers. There needs to be some kind of a story behind the numbers, because if senior management or VC is funding this, they're going to want, okay, so I see the numbers, but what's the story behind it? So keep this in mind. I wish you all the best. I hope this video actually helps you kind of, get some direction on what needs to be done for this milestone, and take care.